Hi everyone, my name is Chef Zion Bliss, 3 Michelin star chef, and today I'm going to show you how to cook the perfect home-cooked steak, eggs, and potatoes, one of my all-time favorites. I'm hungry, so let's get started. The first step is our prep, and as you can see, I really only use the finest ingredients for my cooking. So here we have 2 beautiful grass-fed steaks, our eggs, and our potatoes. We also have some garlic, thyme, and oregano. I really only use the finest seasonings, so here you'll find HEB sea salt and McCormick. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm very serious about my prep. So let me show you how to prep this the right way. People always ask me why I cook. I don't know. I don't remember making that decision. Some people become doctors, some people become lawyers. I just started listening. The absolute first thing you want to do is make sure that you pre-warm the steaks. These have been sitting out for about an hour, and I salted them earlier to ensure that they're room temperature before cooking. These are very beautiful, very high quality. Next, you either want to salt them or pepper them. I've actually already salted them while I was letting them warm up. So I'm going to pepper them now because pepper does not draw out moisture. So you don't need to really worry about when you put the pepper on. I'm only going to use salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic at the end for these steaks. I remember opening my first restaurant. Everyone else was worried about the menu. I was more concerned with the room. A kitchen has a certain energy when you walk into it. Most people never notice it. If the room isn't right, nothing will be right. The next thing we're gonna prep is our potatoes. These potatoes were just shipped in from Italy this morning. They're actually very high quality, so you just want to cut those in half. Doesn't really matter. While we're cutting the potatoes, I'm actually going to preheat the air fryer. We'll cook the potatoes for 15 minutes at 400 degrees. That'll give them a nice, crispy outside. I personally cook about 1 pound or 2 pounds at a time, depending on how hungry I am. As a Michelin star chef, 3 Michelin stars, excuse me, I don't have a lot of time to cook during the day, so I only eat once a day. Now that we're done chopping the potatoes, we can pat them dry and season them. What I typically do, put a little bit of olive oil on there, some pepper, a little bit of smoked paprika, a little bit of garlic, and some salt. Next, we're gonna mix them up over the sink. I've cooked with a lot of different chefs, some of them famous and some of them talented. Those are not the same thing. Gordon understood pressure. Very few people actually understand pressure. Most people confuse urgency with pressure, but they're completely different frequencies. Looks like the air fryer is preheated, so now we can throw them in. Now that my potatoes are in the air fryer, we can continue prepping. First thing I want to do is get my pan smoking hot. Turn these on. We'll grab our olive oil, which is just the tiniest little bit of that olive oil on there. Now that everything's heating up and the potatoes are going, we can start prepping our garlic. I like to be pretty generous with my garlic. This is just normal white garlic imported from Italy. I like to leave the ends on because, please excuse my Michelin star knife techniques. I've never really believed that recipes were real. They're more like suggestions from someone who wasn't there. Every ingredient wakes up differently. You just have to meet it where it is. Right, got the garlic prepped. Now we're gonna throw my eggs on. Didn't break any of the yolks. You really want to keep those yolks intact. It's the same seasoning all around, just salt, pepper, garlic, paprika. You see that steam coming off the cast iron? That's really what you want to see before you put your steaks on. Plop them down. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And to be honest, you really don't have to cook these that long. They're not that thick. I stopped using timers years ago. Timers interrupt intuition. The food will tell you when it's done. The food will always tell you. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. And just see that beautiful sear on those steaks. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I've let the steak sit for about 30 seconds. I'm gonna give them a garlic bath now. Simply drop that butter in there. Give them a very nice garlic bath, garlic butter. While that garlic's melting, I'm gonna pop these eggs out. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. Spread that around a little bit. Literally just gonna baste this butter all over those beautiful steaks. At this point, we'll add the thyme and oregano. I don't really think ingredients like being refrigerated. Nobody ever asks them, they just assume. That always kind of bothered me. Now we could just take these steaks off. They are absolutely stunning. Now, one very important step here is to let the steaks rest. You absolutely have to. This is not optional. These are beautiful, high quality grass-fed steaks, and they must rest properly. I had a conversation with a carrot once. Not literally, people always think literally. It was more, it was an exchange. And I left understanding sweetness differently. Our potatoes are also finished in the air fryer. Put those all down in there, boom. While everything's cooling down, this gives us a chance to clean up a little bit before we serve. All right guys, we've cleaned up a little bit. Now it's time to cut the steaks. Absolutely better than I expected. People always ask me why I cook so simply, because complexity means someone got scared. If an onion can't carry the conversation, adding a truffle isn't gonna save it. This is some of the best meat you'll ever find on the planet. Straight from Italy. Look at how perfect. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed creating it. Cooking has been a lifelong passion of mine, and I'm honored to be where I am today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you come back for more. Thank you. I don't think I'm cooking anymore. I think I'm translating. The food already knows what it wants to become. I'm just fortunate that sometimes it tells me first.